Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's going to be really fucking controversial. I'm a little bit nervous and a little bit scared and super duper excited and really turned on to go there. So we're talking about transpersonal dating, and this I just took some quick little riff notes and I'm like, well, because I really want to stay on track. There's so much I can go in all directions. So my name is Dasha. If you don't know, welcome. If you haven't signed up for my YouTube channel, subscribe, please. It makes such a difference. And I have a tiny account. So if you support me to grow, that would just mean the world. You can also follow me on Instagram. I am Dasha Basakova. That means the world as well. And if you enjoy my content, please comment, like, share. It really supports the growth of this baby account. And I'm not doing the strategies. I'm just riffing. I'm just riffing. I'm just trusting the divine and I'm not doing the weird hooks. I was doing like the shorts and I just am not. I'm a long form content. So grab a cuppa and buckle the F up because we are going to town. So before we dive into transpersonal dating and what is it, I just want to share a little bit about who I am. Why am I talking about this? Why is this important? Where are we going? And why does this matter to you? Right. So, my name is Dasha. I run a mystery school called Shkoda, which means mischief, where we tap into our superhuman abilities to amplify our life. My mission is to help visionaries, healers, change makers, thought leaders to birth their vision, mission, and purpose into the world. And I help extraordinary people make their bucket list into reality, right? So instead of like one day, someday, now, 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 not settling, not saying, oh, yeah, this is enough, this is good enough. It's like, no, you have a superhuman ability. You can have anything you want. So why are you asking for crumbs? Why are you settling for crumbs? Who's been there? I settle for crumbs. No shame in that. Like we've all been there, but I want to guide you into having it all instead of pushing things off your plate, getting a bigger fucking plate. And one of the concepts I've coined was transpersonal dating. Maybe someone else talks about it, but I made it up. I didn't make up transpersonal, didn't make up dating, but I put them together and it's something that has changed my life for freaking ever. I went from hating dating, sucking at dating, to having the most cosmic, out of this world connections, growing so much that I went from a commitment phobe to wanting to have kids and a family. Yeah. So I'm going to take you on a quick journey, maybe. Let's see how we go. But by the end of this, you will understand what transpersonal dating is and how you too can use it to get yourself closer to the one. Also, to understand like what are your desires? Where are they coming from around dating, relating, and family? And reflect on your values. So let's take a breath. So transpersonal dating began when I discovered what the transpersonal was. So personal is the ego state. It is like our ego. What do we like? Where do we want to go? And transpersonal is stepping outside of the personal and going into the soul level. So I was assisting at a retreat and we were invited to be in the transpersonal. So instead of like, oh, I don't want to partner with that person because that person gives me the icks, or like, I don't like the way they look, or I don't like their points of view on the world, or they trigger me. In the transpersonal, your ego is not there. You are in divine service. That was the way I showed up. I was in service and I was just going to surrender and I was going to partner and show up and hold space for whoever needed it unconditionally, because I wasn't there for personal. I was there for the collective. I was there for the soul. I was there just being in service, right? And it was such a transformational experience for me because my ego is very judgmental. It has a way it likes the world to be. It has a certain category of people it wants into my field. When I was in transpersonal, it opened a whole new world because I was connecting with people normally I probably wouldn't. And I was like, huh, interesting. So I started to date in the transpersonal. And how that looked was I allowed my soul to choose the person rather than my ego. So there was something about it, and I didn't know what. So I'm going to give an example. First example that comes to mind was this man at a retreat, and we had a really wild interaction. And I was drawn to him, but I wasn't attracted to him at all, like at all. And he proposed an invitation to me of worship. And I was like, I'm open to being worshipped. And it opened a connection. And then he wanted to like take me out on a date. And I was like, I don't like on a personal level, I don't see a match. But on a soul level, I am open to seeing where this goes. And it ended up like going into a very wild experience. And okay, I'll tell you. How deep do I go? I'm like, fuck, I have so many stories. But this one was really deeply impactful because he was a man that he was the first man that I met after deciding I wanted to explore polarity. And for me, polarity is everyone has their own experience, but like polarity looks at the feminine and the masculine. And honestly, I don't know what the standard polarity is. So I'm just going to explain my way of looking at it. I believe that we should all be balanced. I totally believe in balance. The Tao knew it. Like it's all about balance. I believe that we need to have a balanced feminine and masculine. But also when we come together, we fall into a polarity. So if you're more feminine, you're going to make the other person more masculine. And then you're going to pull each other into a polarity or push each other into a polarity. I've noticed this with women, with men. Like I've dated women and men. When I'm more masculine, I get pushed into the masculine, they get pushed into the feminine. I've had that with men and women. And I've had the feminine where I'm more feminine and they get pushed into the masculine with both men and women. So it's inevitable. It just happens. That's how it works. I'm not saying all men are like this and all women are like that. No, we are everything, right? We are so vast, but we also have certain types of hormones that support a natural way of being. And it doesn't resonate for everyone, right? For me, I used to be very masculine and I built a really successful business from being really masculine. And I had a really shit sex life with my very feminine ex, but it was beautiful and I felt safe. And I chose a feminine man because who was a boy, not a man, because I could control him because I didn't feel safe with men. After that, we consciously uncoupled because we grew apart. I decided I was going to study men, I was going to understand men, and I was going to heal my relationship to the masculine because there was something off because I was terrified of men and I hated them subconsciously and I didn't know why because no one's ever done anything to me. And I realized it was a past life thing. And after healing that, I started to dive deeper into this polarity because I didn't know that men thought differently to women. I just thought men were stupid. I know, it's crazy. I also didn't know that men had feelings. And the crazy thing is, I did a book club, and many women don't believe men have feelings. Yeah, because society brainwashes us against each other, but that's a topic for another day. And then my roommate, she was really into polarity. And then this man ended up being really into polarity. And when I went to visit him, he lived with couples who were really into polarity. And I even interviewed one of them on my Instagram, because he's been in a polarity marriage for 10 years. And he told me crazy stories. Like he's like, best sex life. I went from not having any money to being so rich, I don't have to work anymore. And just embodying the energetics and playing with that, like the feminine and the masculine. And I was like, wow. And I've never heard of it. And I didn't even know people were having sex in marriages after 10 years, So it was revolutionary. So that was the first transpersonal experience. And I was like, this is perfect. Like, how magical is that? So then, fast forward, I had another connection with this Dom. And I wouldn't have normally been attracted to this person, but the universe brought us together. And instead of rejecting it, I just opened myself to a possibility. And I let myself get out of my head and out of the ego into the soul. And I allowed the soul to guide me, which led me to one of like some of the craziest sexual experiences. This man was a pleasure dom, and he got off on pleasuring me for like 7, 8 hours non-stop with like we were no penis pussy penetration. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this shit exists, right? So when it paid, like I'm sharing very openly, and normally I don't share with people, right? I only tell my really close people, but not many people watch this. So I'm like, those of you who are loyal fans, you get an insight into my reality because I want to stretch your reality of what the frick is possible. Because I didn't know that was possible. If no one told me that, I would just be settling for junk food. Like maybe he'll go down on me, maybe he won't go down if I'm lucky. Like, oh, maybe I'll have an orgasm, maybe I won't have an orgasm if I'm lucky. No, this is like multi-orgasm over and over and over and over for 7 hours. Yeah. What? So it's going settling for crumbs. Maybe I'll have an orgasm. To having 7 hours worth of. Yeah, this shit's real. This is fucking real, guys. This is why I wanted to do this video because I was settling for crumbs because I didn't know what I didn't know. And a lot of time we don't know what we don't know until we know and we hear from someone. You know, it's like I joined my mentor's sex, love, and relationship certification because I wasn't having cosmic orgasms. And I heard that was a thing. And I was like, is that possible for me? Yeah, it's possible for anyone, actually. There were rumors that no, I'm gonna have an orgasm. Bullshit. Everyone can have an orgasm, but you need to like heal your trauma. You need to get out of your head into your body. You need to activate your body. All men can be multi-orgasmic. Did you know that? Not many people talk about it, right? So there is such a vast magnificence of this human experience that people don't talk about. And I am so deeply passionate. And one of it is dating. Because for me, I personally think that one of the highest values is family. And we have been so indoctrinated into this individualist society that we put our, I mean, in Australia, we put our grandmas and mums and dads into an old nursing home, like a family home away. Sometimes we don't even see our grandparents, you know, like that is such a bizarre reality. I come from Russia where we live with our grandparents, where they take care of us, where we see them all the time. It's so part of it. And then we take care of our parents. We don't just shove them in a nursing home and forget about it. Like it's just not in my mind, right? So, and then I don't know what happened along the way, but I always thought I wanted to be a young mom because I loved having young parents. Then, as soon as I was getting closer and closer, I was like, "Ooh, I'm not ready to be a parent. I don't want to be brainwashed to have family and la 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 la." And then I had freedom and had magic, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, and I'm now ready. I am now really ready. And I really wanted to prepare myself to be ready. And I wanted to prepare myself to be a queen to a king, to know how to treat a man that I love so we can create this partnership of love and devotion and worship and be a family unit forever. Like go through the challenges, not just be like, bye. It's like, no, we are here for the rest of our life. Let's fucking go and build like a legacy together, build a community, build like just the best family unit ever. Like that is my desire. And I truly believe that family is the most important thing and we all need love. So we need to learn how to freaking date. And I find like not many people know how to date and they give up because it's hard and it's terrifying and scary and online is I've had some experiences and I've had such majestic, like out of this world cosmic. Is this even real? I think I'm being catfished. Oh my God, you're a real human. Experiences as well, right? I've had them all and I can speak from all the experiences because I was like, well, I might as well go ham. And I went from hating dating to loving dating and trusting in the universe. And what inspired me to jump on right now to share this video was I was reflecting on my time in Perth and how fucking weird it was. I dated a lot, surprisingly. And I'm about to go and visit my lover over in Mullum, and I love him so much. Oh my God, I love this man. He is such a good man. He is such a good man. I'm probably gonna cry. And the experiences I shared with him have been like life changing. Oh. And then I had some weird experiences in Perth, and I had some like life changing soul experiences as well. And the universe knows. Trust your body. Trust your body. Your body knows, because I'm gonna like overshare a little bit, a lot, and then I'll decide whether I'm gonna publish this or not. But I had a couple of, I was really like activated, and I wanted to, like I really wanted to. And because I love to be a well-effed woman when I'm working, because it's good for my nervous system. But I don't want the drama. I just want the pleasure. I want respect. I want love, but I don't want the drama. I mean, a lot of people agree, right? And dating can be traumatic and traumatic, dramatic and traumatic if people haven't done the healing. So I was manifesting this crazy love affair. It happened. It happened with this man. It happened with this man. And normally I love to take things slow, but I was ready. And I was like, yes. And our first connection was cosmic. Well, like our second connection was cosmic. Like we didn't even do much. We just kissed. But I don't know what the hell was happening. But I literally had a big bang in every chakra of my body. I felt like I was like like high, high on MDMA. And I was fully sober. And I was like, what is happening? And it was incredible. It was incredible. But nothing happened. And then there was this like longing and desire. And then the next day was weird. And then nothing happened with this man in the end. But there was a bit of like, nee, 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 nee. And reflecting back, I'm so grateful. The universe protected me. My body protected me. Like I was tuning in moment to moment, moment to moment. Some weird things were happening. It did teach me about disorganized attachment. But you know, the funny thing was when I had that crazy Big Bang experience, I remember getting on this group thing and I was like, I just had the most epic experience and I don't want to ever have anything. Let's not that. And then I realized disorganized attachment. Holy shit. If you have disorganized attachment, you really need to have therapy, because you will not be able to be in a relationship long term. And it's okay. It's not your fault. It's how you were parented. And it created a lot of confusing attachment style. And you will probably translate it to your kids if somehow you do end up in a connection. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you get an attachment therapist or coach, because it will change your life forever. Like healing this will change your life forever. But I realized I had two other mind-blowing, like cosmic energy connections that led to a lot of trauma. And I kind of forgot about disorganized attachment. Like I knew avoidant and anxious. And if you don't know your attachment style, you can do a free test. Also, ask ChatGPT about this if you don't know. I'm not going to go into it right now. I also really love Wired for Love. That is like the best book ever. That he also has Wired for Dating if you're single. And I was like, oh my God, they were disorganized attached. Oh shit, that makes so much sense. And then I started to question, like, oh fuck, maybe I don't want that cosmic electric thing because that might be trauma bonding. But the good thing is that the more you work on yourself, then when you see the red flag, instead of being like, yes, bull, come here, I want more, like, oh, like a bull to the red flag, like you're like, fuck no, bye-bye, thank you and goodbye. And then I had another connection with this other man, right? And this is so hilarious, guys, because I was literally reflecting on this because I was like, this is so bizarre, but also trust the universe, trust your body, trust, and don't force. The thing that's meant to come to you will come. You don't need to push it, because if you're forcing it, it's not meant for you, right? Like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. That, I'm not saying don't take action, don't make the move, don't blah, 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 but it's like, don't force it because it ain't happening. So I had this other man, and oh my God, whew, and he really wanted me, but I didn't want him, because he really just wanted the sexual connection. And I didn't feel, I mean, I think if he was really fit and knew how to be a good lover, but just from our cuddle, I could already feel like probably going to be a waste of time. And if there was love and connection and depth and intimacy, then I would entertain that, right? But if it's just like you just want to be an F buddy, well, then you should provide the goods, because why would I want that, right? I don't know. That's just me, but everyone's different. And I'm really not into like that friends with benefits thing. Like, I've never been into that. I really love depth and connection and intimacy and just, I don't know. I love, like, for me, the thing with transpersonal dating, it's about coming together to receive a gift from each other to get yourself closer to your next point. I truly believe that dating is important. It's not about like anchoring down. It's like you're learning, you're growing, you're learning and growing about you're learning and growing and learning about yourself. You're becoming a better person. And if it's mutual, yeah, you can stay together and learn and grow together. If one person is growing and learning, the other one isn't, it's probably not going to work out long term. And if you already know it's not meant to be, like, leave, stop wasting time, don't settle. Because if you already know, you know, like, you just know. So this is your sign. If you know, you already know. So with transpersonal dating, it's kind of like when manifestation. It's kind of like you tell the universe what you want, and then don't settle for what you don't want, because that's telling the universe you want more of it. And then you kind of receive it. And sometimes, like, you need to take the action, right? So it's like you might get in divine inspired action, like ask that person out or let that person know you're interested, make a move. And then you see what unfolds. And then sometimes people are shy, sometimes people aren't interested, and you just have to figure it out and use your intuition, feel into your body, like, and train your body to be your best compass. For me, my body is so fine-tuned. Like, I don't even need to be next to, like, I don't even get energetically attracted to the wrong people. And sometimes people have a message. Sometimes they're a test. Like that disorganized, attached man, he had to come in to teach me about all of that because I didn't know. It all unfolded. I was like, oh shit, this is a pattern. And I was able to get out of it. And he taught me so much because he really, with his avoidance, activated my anxious attachment. He also showed me that what happens when I get anxiously attached, I need to control and da, 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 da. And I can take care of myself and I can learn from that. And then I can also notice, oh, that's toxic. You're not meeting my needs. You don't make me feel safe. Because when I feel safe, I feel relaxed, I feel super turned on, and I feel really horny. And if I don't feel safe, I don't. And then I don't need to do anything about it. I can just say thank you and goodbye. So, as I mentioned, transpersonal dating, it's like magic. It's like people come and they're unexpected. And they might become your one, or they might just be there to give you the gift to get you closer to the one. So I highly, highly recommend that you do inner work. So if you are still single, check yourself. This is where the controversial shit starts. If you're single, check yourself. Because what I have noticed is if you're still single, we trauma bond all the time, right? So if you're in a relationship, you might be in a codependent trauma bond. Like you might be still in a trauma experience. But if you're single, you probably have some kind of trauma that pushes love away. So you don't feel safe with love, you don't feel unlovable, and no matter how hard you try, it doesn't happen. And it can look like you have high standards. And there's nothing wrong with standards, but there is sometimes this, or like, no one can ever meet you. You don't have compassion because you don't have compassion for yourself. And this is not a masterclass on this, but I wanted to speak to it because I think it's important. And there's like some people are dealing with love addiction, some people are dealing with commitment phobia, some people deal with like really deep abandonment trauma. So see what it is for you and do the inner work, because even like you might get trauma bonded and then it will be really unpleasant, or you can do the inner work yourself and then you can attract someone that has done the healing, right? Because if you haven't done the healing, people that have done it, they will see the red flags and they might not want to go there. And they might not tell you, like, hey, I'm seeing some red flags. You should get therapy. And maybe you're not even in a space to get therapy because you don't even think anything's wrong with you. You just love being single. And why the hell would you want to be with anyone else? It's so much easier to just be by yourself. Yeah, totally. I used to be hyper independent and I love my own space. And check where those desires come from. Is it like inherently a true thing or does it come from a wound? And I don't know. I don't know you, and there's no right or wrong answer, but it's something to contemplate. Because, I don't know, someone recently told me, I'm 32, right? I've traveled the world. I've had the most expansive life. I've been to 55 countries. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready for a baby now. Like, I'm not ready. Like, you will never be fucking ready. But I'm like, this is the time. I'm going to have a baby. I'm going to have a husband. I'm going to have a baby. I've done the inner work. Like, I feel like I am the best I can be. And I'm going to learn and grow. And I'm going to study around child psychology and parenting. And that's my next step. And someone was like, get a dog first because having babies is hard. Babe, I know. I know having babies is hard. And someone else told me it was selfish to want a baby. I'm like, I feel like it's the most selfless act you could ever do. I'm not having a baby because I'm like, I need to recreate myself and I need to have I need the legacy. I'm like, I want to have a baby because I want to create a difference in the world. Like I'm a conscious parent and I want to have a conscious child, and this is how we change the world. And I want to have an experience of being a mother. And I think I used to shame motherhood. I was brainwashed to put like CEO and business owner, entrepreneur on a hierarchy over stay-at-home mom. But the biggest gift for a woman is to be a mother, a good mother. Our natural instinct is to be nurturing and loving. And I'm not saying like give everything up and just be a mother, because there is the shadow side of the mother and losing yourself totally. But if you're going to birth anything, a birth of fucking human, that's a miracle. You are growing a human inside of you. I didn't used to think that was sacred or special. I was like, bleh. People that were like, my dream is to be a mother. I was like, weirdos, like that's lame. And my dream isn't like, wow, but it is. It also is. I'm like, yeah, that would be fucking cool. And I totally underrated it. And I think it's going to be so special. And I think co-creating a human with a person that you truly love and creating this safe nest and just a beautiful family unit of love, nurture, care, devotion, pleasure, fun, like being a team that turns me on, that excites me, that brings tears to my eyes. Like I feel like I'm a creator and I want to create the life of my dreams. And people say like, oh yeah, that's a fairy tale. The fairy tales aren't real. When I met my ex, we had a fairy tale and it was the most beautiful connection of my life. And I have like the beautiful lover I'm about to visit. Like we have a fairy tale. I have fairy tales with everyone because we get to create our reality. We get to create the relationship and we get to be the stand for the relationship. And I have done so much work that I understand how people function and their parts and how to love them and have compassion and understanding and collaboration and team. And I invite you not to run away from a challenge. We've been so like I don't know the word when the dog gets sterilized because it's like any kind of like big thing, just numb yourself, scroll, don't challenge yourself, just be passive. Yeah, pacified. Just gonna say passive. No, we need a challenge. We love challenges. We want to grow. We want to develop. We want to overcome it. That's excitement. The hero's journey. So, do you want to have kids? And don't give me like it's expensive. Like, what the fuck? That excuse. Oh my God, I can't even. And it's never too late. I mean, I don't know where you are and who you are. But yeah, anyway, check yourself, check your desires. Who's been speaking into your ear? Is it your truth, their truth? Whose truth? Truths can change. And yeah, I just invite you to check yourself. Whose voice is speaking in your head? And I don't know. And your truth might not be to have a family, but at least maybe it is to have a partnership, and not be alone and co-create. Whatever it is your reality, right? And you get to create it. And that's what I really want to have you leave with is that you have the power to create anything. And if you weren't successful in dating and relating, that can change. That can really, really change because I fucking sucked at dating. I was so anxiously attached. My energy was so leaky, so needy, so obsessive. Ugh, no wonder people are like, ugh. I would be. It's suffocating, you know? And people change and people heal. And the biggest thing was when I did Layla Martin's work, we did the attachment style test, and she says you can totally heal that. You can reparent yourself. And that's freedom, that's liberation. Love is the answer. The more you can love yourself, love all parts of you, all your inner children, and love others, that is a better place to be, better world to live in, better place to raise your kids in. Anyway, I hope this was inspiring. I hope this was helpful. I'd love to read your comments in the chat. I love you all so much, and I will see you soon.